Hey guys, before we get going, quick reminder, there is a limited time offer. I opened up 10 more slots to the Discord server for $10 a month, and it's been flying off the shelf. We only have 2 spots remaining, so if you want to get in there now's your chance. First come, first serve, and let's get into the video. Hey guys, how's it going? I wanted to get a quick video out because today is the big day. It is Taco Tuesday. Got the guac all ready to go, but we also have some other big events tonight, so I wanted to get this video out quickly. Green day in the market, right? Let's talk about the market overall. I did make a play on AMD today, so we'll talk about that. And then also some news on Space as well today. So Space had a nice little run up. So what we'll talk about the market. We'll talk about AMD, do a little bit of updated technical analysis on AMD. We'll talk about Space, Virgin Galactic, and we'll do a little bit of updated technical analysis. And then we'll all sit back and we'll watch the show and see how the market reacts tomorrow morning. But looking at the heat map here, a lot of green on the board. Healthcare sector though, not doing so well today, but big tech had a green day. The semis had a good day. AMD was up 2.5%, which kind of kicking myself over, and I'll get to that in a second. Nvidia up 3.5, the Honey Badger, Micron up 2.8. So overall, great day. Qualcomm has earnings coming up tomorrow, so we'll keep an eye on that tomorrow. But let's get right into it. Let's talk about my AMD plays here. So as you know, I have 200 shares of AMD. I could not get a fill on my covered calls yesterday. So what did I do? I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to make the same mistake. I'm not going to play games. I'm going to sell my covered calls, and I'm going to put them all at the same strike price. And I want to make sure I get a fill today, because who knows what's going to happen after hours today and pre-market tomorrow morning. And we may have a little bit of IV crush, which would only help me if I were to open up my calls today. So the market opened, we were green pre-market, so we were up about 0.5, 0.6% pre-market. Like I've noticed, and you saw my video yesterday, I kind of mentioned this, we sell off within the first 5 minutes. So I said, okay, I recognize the pattern that's happening. We sold off. And then we rallied again up until 10 a.m., just like we happened yesterday. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to wait until 10 a.m. I'm going to start to get in around 9:50, 9:55 a.m. to make sure I can get a fill. So that's exactly what I did. And I got a fill, and I'll talk to you about what strike I filled at in a second. But I got filled right here, right at this peak. I was looking pretty good because then we started to sell off. And I said, yes, you know, I timed it right. I played it right today. I didn't make the same mistake I did yesterday. But then we started rallying even harder, and we stayed up there all day long. So I'll go into what option I got filled. Let's take a look at the option chain, because I got in too early. I left money on the table, you know? This is what happened yesterday up until this point, but then yesterday we sold off. Today, we kept rallying. So, you know, it's just like I can't win. If I could have reversed the days, and if this happened yesterday, I would have looked like a genius. But, you know, the market does what the market does, and it's true what they say, right? You can have a theory, you can have a plan, but it works until it doesn't. And, you know, I thought I had AMD figured out, but what are you going to do? At the end of the day, profit is still profit. So let's take a look at the AMD options chain. I sold weekly options, sold covered calls for this Friday, November 6th. And actually, I got aggressive because I was initially looking at the 82 and 82.50 strikes yesterday. And this morning, when I was looking at selling these options, these things were only trading for around 10 bucks. So, you know, premiums weren't really that juicy. And I honestly didn't think AMD was going to rally from like $75 to $80 in about essentially 4 trading days, especially with the volatility that we have coming up because of the event tonight. So I got aggressive, and I actually sold 2 covered calls at the $80 strike price. So I say I got aggressive because these are actually below my cost basis. So I'm taking a little bit of a gamble here. Now, if AMD does have a run up until Friday, I will most likely roll these out, hopefully to a higher strike price and to obviously a longer day. But I got aggressive because I thought, you know what? AMD at the time was trading around 75. For AMD to go up $5, and it's trading at 75, so it would have to run up about a little over 6% in 4 days. And I thought, you know, there's too much volatility in the market this week. There's no way that AMD is going to go up 6% in 4 days. I thought it was going to be a little bit of choppiness, a little bit of flatness. So I thought I was pretty safe. And I also looked at the technical analysis on AMD. So let's look at that right now. So here's my TA. Each candle is 1 day of trading. And as you can see, we've been in a downtrend. And if you saw my video from last night, you know I was hoping that this $74 trend line here holds. And luckily it did. Because I think if we break 74, then we're going to potentially go all the way down to the low 60s. So I did not want that to happen. So thankfully, we had a green day today. AMD actually closed up 2.5%. We closed at about $76 and some change, about $76.50, let's say. And I thought, all right, to get to 80, which is right around here, we would have to break through this Fibonacci level, which is the 78.6% Fibonacci level, this area of support, and basically this area of support, which is right around $80 as well, a little above $80. Not only that, but I think as the days pass, these 21 and 50-day moving averages are also going to dip down into like 81 or high 80s. So I thought there was a decent amount of resistance up in the $80 price level. And like I said, right now, basically since AMD is at 76, in 3 trading days, AMD has to get to $80. It has to rise roughly $4 in 3 trading days, which AMD can certainly do, but I think the market overall is going to be very choppy. The biggest factor is how the market is going to react to whatever happens tonight. If we have a clear winner or if we don't have a clear winner, what's going to happen? Like I said, if my strike gets tested, I'm going to try and roll it as soon as possible. That way I can roll it for a credit. If I wait until Friday, I might not be able to roll for a credit, or I may have to go to a longer expiration like a monthly option. But that was my play today. I did get a little aggressive, and I sold those covered calls for $35 in premium each. Like I said, I left money on the table because since we rallied after I sold them, those options were worth like up to $60 at their peak. So I left about $25 per contract on the table. So I left about $50 on the table. But like I said, honestly, at the end of the day, if they expire worthless, I'll take it. Profit is profit. I can't complain. And like I always say, you can't always time the peaks and the valleys, right? You don't go after the stuff on the edges. You go after the meat in the middle. Don't go after the buns. Go after the meat in the middle. So that's my hope right now, is that AMD does not go to $80 by end of day Friday. I think if we have at least one red day or a flat day out of the next 3, I think I'll be okay. I think we would essentially have to have 3 green days in a row for AMD to rally about 6%. So I think if tomorrow is flat or even red, I'll be fine. But like I said, I'm not going to worry about it too much because I'll just roll it out if I need to. I was actually looking at rolling it today after I saw that huge run up, and I could have rolled it out to next week, not only for a longer expiration, but I could have rolled it up to the $82.50 strike price for about $20 in premium. So it's doable, but let's see what happens overnight. Let's see what happens pre-market tomorrow, and let's see how the market reacts. But not only that, I also took a look at the options flow data on AMD today, and there wasn't a lot of flow. There were 3 big orders that came in, and 2 of the 3 were puts. And these are all long-dated options expiring January of 2021. But you can see we had 2 big orders of basically in the 6 figures for 75 strike puts. 1 order came in for 80 strike call. So yesterday as well, there were a lot of put orders that came in through the option flow on AMD. So that tells me that the big money, or the investors, the institutional investors, are bearish for the next few months on AMD. So that also made me feel better about getting a little bit aggressive on the strike prices, but we'll have to see what happens. So let's finish off the video by talking about Space, or Virgin Galactic. They actually had a test flight today, and their VMS Eve took the skies for its 2nd flight as they're preparing for their first space flight from New Mexico, which is due sometime this fall. And that looks like, or sounds like, it was a successful test flight. So I think the market really liked that. And let's take a look at the Robinhood graph. So taking a look at Robinhood, you can see the market really just pumped Space all day long. It was up about 4.5% today. So big movement for Space. Glad to see it. I unfortunately don't have any plays right now on Space, but it is one of those things that is on my radar. I think if we have a little bit of a market correction, and if I can get in Virgin Galactic in the low teens or even less than $10, I think personally this is a stock that I would want to just buy and hold long term and sell covered calls on it for its juicy premiums along the way. But let's do some technical analysis to finish up this video on space. So you can see, again, we had a sell-off on space just like the whole market sold off. We have had 2 green days in a row. And you can see the intraday high today bounced pretty much right off this pink line, which is the 50-day moving average. So that's going to tell me that that's going to be an area of resistance. And also we closed right on this trend line at about $18.50, which is also the 61.8% Fibonacci level. So that is going to act as an area of resistance right now. What I'm looking for is for Virgin Galactic to close basically above $18 and some change. If it can close at 19 or higher, then I'm convinced that we are now in a short-term bullish movement. We do have earnings coming up on November 5th. So maybe that's going to be the catalyst. If earnings are good or if the market reacts favorably, that's going to propel space back into more kind of a bullish target range here. We'll have to wait and see. But it does look like today, right now, we hit resistance at about 1850 or so. Then we probably have a little bit more resistance at about 1880. We'll have to wait and see how the market reacts to space. But yeah, that was my day in a nutshell. Hopefully, we're going to all have a nice dinner, sit back, watch some TV to follow the news, and just see how the market reacts tomorrow, and just keep you posted on if I have to adjust my AMD options or not. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And as always, happy trading.